So you guys had some pretty interesting questions in the comment section of the last vlog, and I thought I'd take some time to answer some of these and to just give you an update on what's going on. A lot of you wanted to know, and this question was repeated over and over again, which eye the blind spot is in, and some of you were saying, hey, try covering one eye and test it and then the other one and seeing which one's better. It's not a problem with either of my eyes. My eyes aren't the problem. They're working just perfectly. What's not working perfectly is my brain. Because of a nutrient deficiency, a blind spot opened up in my vision, and it's there even if I cover up both my eyes. In fact, even if I cross my eyes, there's still a blind spot sitting right there in the same place. So it's definitely, it's not my eyes at all. It's a spot in my brain. So I guess the simple answer is I see it in both sides. It doesn't matter if I close eyes or whatever. It's there. It's completely gone. So unfortunately, there's no way that I can, like close one eye and get the full picture. It's not happening. Someone else in the comments had a mother that was an alcoholic and noticed that she was tired all the time, even when she wasn't drinking, and wanted to know why that was. And the reason that happens is because when you drink a lot, actually when you drink at all, it saps things that your body needs out of it, like moisture, like mineral, and at the same time, now you have a body that's trying to fight off the effects of the alcohol, of this thing that you're doing to it, because alcohol basically is poison. But if you drink all the time, like an alcoholic does, there's a very good chance that you're not eating properly. You're not taking in the right nutrients, just like I wasn't. And what you wind up with is a body that's continually fighting against the effects of this poison. And at the same time, it's not getting the tools it needs. It's not getting the nutrients it needs to actually do that fighting. So what you wind up with is just this continual exhaustion all the time. Even when you haven't picked up a drink, it takes a while to recover from that. And believe me, it's no fun to spend sometimes entire days where you're just sitting there too exhausted really to even move for no reason. You didn't do anything. You just can't. There's no energy left. Another good question was if all people who are addicted to something realize that, or if it's possible to not be aware that you're addicted to something. And that's really a more complicated question than it sounds like, because there's a difference between realizing you're addicted and realizing it's a problem. The important part is realizing it's a problem, because I'm pretty sure almost every person who's addicted to something realizes they're addicted to it. If you're a smoker, even if you're a vapor, and you get that thirst, you understand that, oh, my brain and body want this substance. It's kind of hard not to understand, wow, that's addiction. I'm addicted to it. The hard part is realizing when or if it's a problem. That's the part that a lot of people who are addicted to something fail on. And finally, somebody in the comments asked me when I realized I was addicted. And that question is unfortunately rather complicated. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to analyze my performance in gameplay videos before and after having had alcohol. And just recently was a perfect recording session to try that out, because at the beginning of the session, I hadn't had any alcohol. I was as sober as I suppose I can possibly be right now. And by the end of it, I'd taken all my shots. So between two different video games, I took my shots, and I want to see the difference in my performance. Obviously, there's going to be a slowdown in reaction time. There's going to be, slurred speech. There's going to be, a few things that are obvious, but I'm not, those are to be expected. So I'm not really looking for those, because I know those are going to be there. I want to find out what else is going on between being sober and not being sober during my gameplay videos. And so I'm looking at them right now. And you guys have no idea how many times it took me to be able to... Jesus. Okay, right off the bat, I'm noticing my posture is bad. I'm leaning forward towards the screen. I'm in the lower part of it. I'm slumped down, basically. But also I'm noticing that I'm frustrated with the game. And I mean, I know that there are games out there that are frustrating to play, and you know, it's pretty legitimate to get frustrated at them. However, it seems to dominate my gameplay is the game and how frustrated I am with it. I got him! Oh my God, I got him! Oh, I got you. I'm repeating myself a lot, I've noticed. And I'm not really expanding. Doing a gameplay video is kind of complicated in that you have to understand a balance of how you're speaking and how you're making commentary. And that balance goes out the window when I've had some alcohol, because I'm not making any observations. I'm not making any introspection. I'm just really describing what everybody just saw. And that's not really needed. I don't need to describe that I got him because everybody saw that I got him. I got you, bitch. Where were you? You were in a shit. That's another thing right there. I started a sentence. I didn't even finish it. And I've noticed that I do that more often after I've had some alcohol. I'll start a thought in my head while I'm gaming, and I just said, "Oh, where were you? You were shit." That's nothing content. That's nothing material. That's just, it doesn't further the entertainment of this video at all. So I'm making a lot of mistakes in my commentary. That's where that seems like the most mistakes are. Do we go in here? No. See, that was a nice little bit of nothing. I noticed it appears to me that I'm focused more on the game itself and less on commenting on the game or making good commentary on the game, which that kind of makes sense because I guess I'm getting sucked. It's easier for me to get sucked into the game and lose focus on what I'm doing after I've had some alcohol. So that's what's going on there. It was just me failing time after time after time. It was probably, I probably went through that 50 times. Yeah, this is right before the exit, and there once again, I finally sat up. I guess I realized I was slumping. I sat up and I did my exit there, but not before repeating again how many times I'd gone through that one part without adding anything to it or changing it or making any observations toward it. So I'm just being very focused on the game and not very creative. My creativity, as far as my words, as far as my observations and perception, have gone just out the window, and I'm just left basically playing a game and describing what's going on the screen. That's not good. I don't like that. Okay, so here is earlier in that same session, and this is the very beginning of the very first video I started doing before I'd had any alcohol whatsoever. Welcome back to Old Bird Gaming. My name is Tu, and I am the Old Bird. I am in a sewer today, which is absolutely not a metaphor for my life right now in any way. Okay, already I'm seeing a lot more expression. I'm hearing a lot more expression. And this is something I didn't really even notice, that the alcohol actually tends to affect my tone of voice, the actual pitch that I'm using. I seem to be less afraid, or not afraid, but using more pitch variation, playing with my voice a little bit, making the words come out a little more. I'm looking around a lot more. I think what it is that when I'm on alcohol, I lose I don't care enough. I don't think I care enough at that point to actually alter my tone very much or play around with words or do things that are, more animated. Because as I was described before, alcohol just makes it okay to be bored. So I guess when I'm not, I'm putting more effort into it, because when I'm drunk, then I don't give a shit. I don't give as much of a shit about the way I'm forming my words or playing around with words or being funny or making good commentary. Because there are motherfuckers hiding everywhere, and I don't remember where they all are. Can I have a map, please, to all the bad guys? See, here I'm asking for a map, please, to all the bad guys. That's something that I wouldn't have done if I was drunk. I wouldn't have been having more of a conversation with the game or with you guys. I would have just been focused on observing the game and saying what was going on. No, in the gut. I heard gut shots really, really hurt. Did that hurt? There, and again, more introspection as I stopped there and went, oh, I heard gut shots really hurt. Another thing that I would never have done if it had been after I'd had all my shots, because I just wouldn't have thought to actually go introspective, look into my own mind and my own experience and my own perspective and dig something out to throw it into the commentary. I don't do that after I've had a lot of alcohol. And well, not that it's a lot anymore, but it's still getting me just as drunk as when I was drinking a lot. My skill. Whoa! The fuck did you just do? I'm smiling more. I'm smiling more, and I have a generally more positive attitude toward the game. Even if I mess up, I'm still clearly having fun. In the other one, when you notice when I was drunk, it didn't seem like I was having fun. It seemed like I was just trying to get through the game, and not die. And I was more frustrated with it. Now, when I'm sober, I'm having fun with this. I'm smiling, I'm laughing, I'm having a good time. You know what? I'm going to start a charity. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start a charity for undersexed furries, where we just donate, pity sex to furries who don't get much sex. I'm going to call it Loads of Love. Yeah, another thing I wouldn't have done after having alcohol is I don't come up with jokes like that. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I can't. Maybe I just can't focus on, so many things at once, forming jokes and being introspective and at the same time playing a game. I think it's just that I can't focus on all that, and combined with the fact that I don't care. I'm not motivated to be funnier. I'm not motivated to tell jokes. I just wind up playing a game and describing what's going on instead of expanding on that when I've had alcohol. So I'm seeing already today how alcohol definitely affects my gameplay videos, and I do not like that. I don't like that at all. I don't like the fact that after I've had alcohol, my videos aren't as good. They're not as fun to watch for you guys. That bothers me a lot. So yeah, this has been an eye-opener for me today. Definitely a lot to take in. As to when I realized I was addicted, that would be mid-2000s, probably around 2006 or 7, when I was living in Michigan, and I noticed that my body and brain were starting to whack me over the head and saying, "Stupid, you need to drink," on pretty much a daily basis. It was like, oh, it's drink time. Oh, give me the drink. And if I didn't get the drink, then my body and brain were going, "You gotta get the drink. I need the drink." And I was like, shit, I'm addicted. But like I said earlier, there's a difference between realizing you're addicted and realizing it's a problem. And at the time, I didn't realize it was a problem. And at that time, Honestly, it probably wasn't. It had become a problem since then, and I realized it was a problem early this year. See, I've been in the furry fandom for a very long time, and there are instances where I have a spotlight on me, and I've never believed in being stingy with that spotlight. If I find somebody in the furry fandom, an artist, a performer, who is maybe a little shy or doesn't get the attention that they should get, they're putting in a lot of hard work and they're doing a lot of good things, I always liked to take a bit of that spotlight and shine it on that person. Go, hey, check this out, furry fandom. This is a dude you may like. You might like this. And in a lot of cases, those people have risen in popularity. They've gone on to do wonderful things, be popular people in the furry fandom, and, gone on to live their dreams. Some of them have gone from just, scribbling stuff, in complete obscurity to actually now being professional artists that live off of their work. And I was there to shine that spotlight on them in the first place. And I really, really like that. A lot of these people, they were friends of mine. They were very good friends, and they were always there. And then near the beginning of this year, actually, I think it was late last year, I happened to make a tweet online saying that violence should never be a response to words. And when I did that, a bunch of garbage people pointed at me and started calling me a Nazi because A, they don't know what a Nazi is, and B, they just wanted to hate me. And when they were doing that, it got to be a thing for a while. They were really kicking me around. Direct result was Anthrocon, the con I felt that was my home con, the con that was always telling me that I was always welcome there, took my show off stage, off all their stages, for no reason other than internet drama, because people were saying I was a Nazi for supporting free speech. And when that happened, all of those people, some I've known for a decade or more, just vanished. Not a one of them would say any word in defense of me. Not a one of them. These are people that, some of them, I've been to their houses. They've invited me to meet their families. They called me family. I'd known them for a long time. And it was like I was, laying in the middle of a circle of people who were kicking the shit out of me. And these people that I thought cared about me were just standing there and watching. And they weren't saying a damn thing. Not one thing. They weren't saying, hey, I've known this guy 10 years. He doesn't hate anybody. What the hell are you doing? Nobody. They all just vanished. They all crept back into the shadows because they were afraid that if they stood up for me, then these idiots would start calling them Nazi as well. And apparently, the opinion of these fucking wastes of skin people was more valuable to them than I was. And I'll be honest, at that point, that's when I realized that I would be perfectly okay with drinking myself to death. I wouldn't have a problem with that. That's when I realized it was a problem. Because that was the kind of the last stopgap I had from actually killing myself, was a lot of the people that I felt cared about me, a lot of my long-term friends, and now they just disappeared. They were gone. And some of them still won't talk to me. And at that point I was like, fuck it. Fuck it all. Why care now? What's the point? That's when I realized it was a problem. And the reason this is important is because that's what happens to a lot of addicts to push them over the edge. will be some kind of, realization that people don't care about you, or that, that you're alone, you feel alone. Nobody's got your back. And, that kind of realization will send addicts who maybe didn't have a problem before into a depression. And then it becomes a problem because they don't give a shit anymore. They don't care now when something like that happens. And they will just plummet down that cliff. And I saw that cliff coming. I saw it. I was like, whoa. This is the kind of thing that will cause me to die. So I need to pull myself back. And I'll tell you what pulled me back was all of you. I may not have had a lot of friends that I thought I had anymore, but that was no excuse to abandon you. Because what's made me happiest in this world and on this planet is being able to talk to you, give you guys a smile, and make you think and make you happy and help you through your hard times. That is what my happiness is based in this life. And I wasn't about to abandon that. So that's why I made that promise to all of you, because I knew I would stick myself to it. And you guys probably literally saved my life. So my hip is no better. It's been about a month now since I woke up, and it was hurting really badly. And some days it's better, some days it's worse. Some days I can't walk on it at all. Other days I can walk on it, but it still does hurt. But it's been in a constant state of pain since that day. And I'm starting to think that it's not the alcohol doing that. I think that's a separate issue. I might be developing arthritis or something, but that's something I'm going to check out later, one problem at a time, right? I've noticed that I'm getting more energy on more days than I was before. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't have any days where I'm totally low energy and I'm just totally bleh all day long, because those days still happen, but they're not nearly as frequent. And I'm having far more days where I actually have energy to do things. And I credit my doctor. If you're watching this, you know who you are, for recommending this. I think this is a good part of it. And I think the drinking, reducing the drinking is a big part of it. And eating more is another huge part of it. So, that's a good thing. For some reason, my piss has turned this nuclear neon yellow. I mean, it practically glows in the dark. And I think it might be because I'm just blasting my system with these B vitamins. I think that's probably what it is. But I noticed that right away. I mean, it was like opening the briefcase in Pulp Fiction when I took a leak. It's like blah, glowing. Shit, what the hell is going on there? I also noticed that my voice is not screwing up as much. I used to wake up with it just gone a lot of times. And I was always at some level of hoarseness where it was like you could hear in my gaming videos me trying to push through this hoarseness in my voice. I've noticed that has not happened in a while. My voice is actually coming back more and more. So maybe it was the alcohol drinking that was causing my voice to fuck up. I was skeptical about that at first, because I'm like, well, how can something that goes down my esophagus be affecting my vocal cords? That doesn't make sense. I'm not breathing alcohol. But I don't know. I mean, there may be some validity to that. It's looking like there could be. So let's hope that's what it was, and I won't have any more voice problems, because I don't like those. So kind of a long vlog today. I'm sorry about that. I usually try to keep these at around 10, 12 minutes, because I don't want you guys to lose interest, and I don't want to bore you with all the little details. But everything is going well. Tomorrow we start 6 shots, and for now, everything is going good. We're still plowing forward. We're still on schedule. We're still sticking with the plan. So tomorrow, it's another day, guys, and I'll see you again soon.